Hello, YouTube universe. My name is C Nation NGU 010. I'm gonna. Today is February 25th, 2011, and I'm about to do my next Black History fact. So here is another Black History fact. Sidney Poitier. He was born in 1927, and he was born and raised in the Bahamas. He was the first African American actor to uh, receive leading man status in Hollywood films. Many of his plays and films have directly addressed issues of race, like Lorraine Hansberry's A Raisin in the Sun in 1959. The film was also shown in 1961. And such films as No Way Out in 1950 and his movie debut, Cry the Beloved County, in 1951. Then his next movie was The Defiant Ones in 1957. The film that established his reputation was Lilies of the Field in 1963, which he won an Academy Award. His next movie was Guess Who's Coming to Dinner in 1967, which treated the subject of interracial marriage. And in The Heat of the Night in 1967, he turned to directing. Sorry, uh, he turned to directing in 1971. His films are Buck and the
What are you
Preacher
talking about,
in
Charlie?
1972, a a Patch of Blue in 1973, and Stir Crazy in 1980. In 1991, he portrayed Thurgood Marshall in the Emmy-winning TV film Separate but Equal. Sidney Poitier. Let's see. My next part of my video, I'm going to be talking about uh, the labor union protests in Wisconsin and many other states. Um, and many of you still probably wondering why this news story has been breaking for the past 2 weeks that people in Madison, Wisconsin, many other states have been protesting and standing up for labor unions. What has been happening is um, newly elected Republican governors in some states, like Madison in Wisconsin, uh, want to simply going after labor unions and strip their rights, want to strip their rights uh, of. Technically, I forgot what it was. I'm sorry, I forgot what it was. I should have looked up my facts about it, but it's just simply going after labor unions and um, simply the specific reason why many newly elected governors, like Scott Walker of Wisconsin, is going after labor unions is because of the debt. Now, honestly, in my opinion, uh, I don't think any politician, no matter what party you're from, should not go after the hardworking Americans in this country like labor unions. Um, Simply because these people are simply the backbone of America. That's what these Republicans need to understand. They're the backbone of America. These people are simply the reason why America is afloat now. It's just simply uh, still floating instead of being dragged down, or whatever metaphor you like to use. And even though many Republicans in the Tea Party movement keep on talking about the debt this and debt that, I agree with the Republicans is that we got to fix the debt. That right now we're $14 trillion in debt and counting as we speak. But going after the labor unions is not exactly a step or the first step, but it seems to me it's going to be the first step of many other things going to end up cutting and stripping of what the 98% the middle class of Main Street needs. Um, honestly, within my opinion, that for example, just last night, I saw the Late Show with David Letterman. He had my home state newly elected Senator Rand Paul. Rand Paul, but honestly, I voted for Jack Conaway. I wish it was Jack Conaway, but he didn't win. Uh, Rand Paul, he was a guest last night on Late Show with David Letterman, and Rand Paul, he mentioned about his views, and but almost
Charlie,
then
maybe
throughout
you'd like to
like
go
half of
play in
the,
the bathroom.
it was like half of the interview, the other half of the interview of the show. I think David Letterman just grilled. He simply grilled Rand Paul because uh, David Letterman just simply grilled him about how he's simply confused about how
I
uh,
listen.
his views simply helping the rich, the top 2%, instead of not going, just not go after labor unions. And I agree with uh, David Letterman what he said last night after he interviewed Rand Paul is that it's simply not fair that these
Not in front of
rich
the
people,
computer, Charlie.
the top 2%, are getting the bailout, and as the hardworking Americans in this country just getting kicked in the can. Uh, I was thinking throughout uh, uh, that interview with Rand Paul uh, is that I'm thinking of asking Rand Paul this question and many other Republicans like Scott Walker is that if you think about it, uh, the, the those suits that they're wearing, the socks that they wear, the shoes and socks, um, the the limousines that they ride, or if they don't go in a limousine, or if they drive a car to Washington D.C. or to their state's council and assembly or anything like that. Uh, those cars that they drive, the road that they go to, that they that allows them to transportate from one place to another. Like the road's being created. I'm sorry, the road's being constructed. Let's see, the road's being constructed, the clothes that they wear, uh, the place at which they present their ideals and ideas, and their policies, and so on and so forth. If many of you know what I'm going at, where I'm getting at, is from hardworking Americans, the people who make those cars that which these politicians drive from their homes to, like the White House or their state
You would
capital,
see that,
is from
Charlie.
hardworking Americans, labor union, simply labor union, uh, uh, hardworking Americans. Um, Rand Paul, he's a doctor himself, but tragically, it seems to me he's not understanding the connection from people who, uh, like Rand Paul's a doctor, and many people are nurses, uh, and physicians, and so on and so forth, who work in the hospital every day, are hardworking Americans, and technically, Rand Paul himself is a hardworking American as a doctor, but yet tragically doesn't see that way. Um, honestly, if the Republicans really want to go after the debt and honestly, just like I said earlier, I feel that I agree with Republicans. Got to fix the debt. We have the urgency need of now to fix the debt. I have some ideas, and I hope many conservatives in this country should, and many Republicans should understand that maybe should go after. What about the war in Iraq and Afghanistan? What about earmarks, pork bill spending, lobbyists? What about the marijuana drug task force? What about these other things that we're wastefully spending upon? That the reason why we're in this $14 trillion debt in the first place. And instead of just don't go simply instead of just right now they're just currently going after
It'd help
hardworking
our debt
Americans in
problem
this
if we
country.
put a huge tax on marijuana and legalized it.
I agree. Same thing. Just like honestly, even though I'm straight, Right, right, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Right. Discussing about legalizing marijuana. I honestly, even though I don't smoke it myself, even though I'm completely straight edge, but yet let's get. I feel that let's, for example, let's get rid of the drug task force. The marijuana drug task force. It's costing us $13 billion. 13 billion. Anybody know? Anybody know how much money you can do with that money? 13 billion. That's enough. That's enough money to give possibly every man, woman, child like a check, or start invest. You can start, or maybe start investing in our schools, start investing in our infrastructure, start investing in going green. The war in Iraq and Afghanistan is cost. Like I said, the war in Iraq and Afghanistan, which is the number one thing in my opinion, that we're wastefully spending upon, costing us 10 trillion. So that leaves 4 trillion left. Uh, Start investing in that. Let's start investing in that money. Also, I got another economic idea to fix our debt. These banks that received these bailouts a few years ago, and tragically finding out that they've been giving billions of dollars in bonuses to our employees. So that doesn't make sense that if they receive a bailout and they're saying they're too big to fail, but yet, so this seems to me they're too broke to give away money. They're too big to give away money or something like that. So I'm thinking, let's take. I'm not sure this may be feasible, but I think it's a great idea. Let's have the FBI involved. Let's have all the people responsible for our money, like the budget and Treasury Secretary, like Tim Geithner and everyone of our money, to come together along with the FBI and the IRS, whatever, to start making a crackdown and even having President Obama to contact all those banks that received a bailout. And if those banks who receive a bailout refuse or unoblige to answer the phone, or if they do answer the phone and we tell them that let's start slapping a warrant on them if they refuse or unoblige to answer, or to give us those bonuses that they've been giving their bonuses to those to our employees, start slapping them with a warrant. So we take advantage with those warrants to look within their files and start going to those CEOs of those banks, those big top bosses of those banks, and start negotiating with them to give us those billions of dollars of bonuses, collect them, and start investing in rebuilding
You know
America.
where he lives?
Now, it's a chance that that may be too radical or too much, but also if many people out there in this country start talking about, I want a bailout. I want a bailout. What about my bailout? I want a check too. I want to get bailed out. Maybe let's start taking that money, or from the war in Iraq and Afghanistan, take money from the earmarks, purple spending, lobbyists. Let's take that wasteful spending money and start investing in spreading the wealth. And also, and last but certainly not least, I agree. I don't know, it's spreading everywhere so much. Very somewhat controversial topic. I'm not sure. I feel that we should tax the rich. Let's finally tax the rich, the top 2% in this country. Let's start taxing them, because it's not fair that us, 98%, the middle class and Main Street, is being taxed, but yet, what about the top 2%? They've been getting, for the last 8 years from George W. Bush, they've been receiving tax breaks. So I feel that let's take uh, that tax money that we've been taxing upon the top 2%, they start investing it in too, to rebuild America. Um, it's just saddening that the 98%, the middle class of Main Street, still getting attacked upon. For example, the labor unions. They're the fabric of America. They're the backbone of America, not the top 2%. So I, even though I agree with Ed Schultz, I think that's about time that President Obama should start standing up. And like you said during 2007 when he shown that clip. So that's how I feel. My name is C Nation NGU 010. I'm out in the shouting. Thank you.